the second episode of Raw Unplugged, and we are covering cricket again after a month of trying to decide what exactly works best and coming up or reading up on a lot of concepts and seeing what potentially we could be talking about. And yeah, I also have a person live in front of me, and I don't have to do it over Zoom, so that is also in some way helpful. And so let me introduce you to our guest today. His name is Vipul, and I have known him for the entirety of my life until I knew to speak, I guess. So minus the first 5 years of my life, and then yeah, so that's how long we've known each other. Not been regularly in touch, but whenever we've had the opportunity, yeah, we've always been interested in what we've been up to, and I've been planting the seed of podcasting, and surely enough, he was there to come and ask me what it's like and what I've been up to. And then he proposed the idea of bringing cricket into an even larger horizon so that it could reach a lot more people. Because the experimental episode that we did last month had a very good response from all the people who are listening. If you're listening for the first time, welcome. If you're listening again, thank you for tuning in. But yeah, without any further ado, I am going to give it to Vipul so that he introduces himself so that you guys know him better. Maybe I'll have him again, sure enough. But yeah, for the moment, take it away.
Yeah, thank you, Shubham. Thank you for the warm welcome that you've given me. Yeah, I think you've given us a perfect introduction as to how we know each other. So, yeah, I don't want to speak on that because I think that would take another episode all to itself. So, speaking of this podcast itself, I remember, stumbling across your podcast series when you started on my Instagram feed, and I saw sports tales, and I was curious as to why it came onto my page, and then I saw that you started it, and it was related to football, and I think it was a wonderful initiative on your part because I know how enthusiastic you have to be about a sport to start something like this. So the way you are about football or cricket, I'm the same way about cricket. So on that level, with the connect with sport, I connected with you. So that's why when you did that episode on cricket, I really loved that. And I was like, yeah, I mean, if there's any way that I can be on this podcast with you, I would love to do it. And yeah, here we are setting up the second episode on cricket. So yeah, I'm really excited. Let's do this.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure how much he liked it because his first comment was it could have been better. So that's why maybe that was his trick to like come and elevate this entire experience to a new level. So again, thanks for coming up. And yeah, without any more personal talk, let's just jump into our several topics that we want to be talking about today. Since we have a small matter of the test series that's coming up this week for the five test series,
T20.
five five match T20 series. Just want to put down the stat. Since the last T20 World Cup, India has lost four T20 series. One with New Zealand, one with Australia, and a couple against the West Indies. They have drawn three, and they have won a massive 13 test series, which includes one 5-0 in New Zealand, one in Australia 3 months back, and also one in England in 2018, especially considering that this was this when they were building up, when England was building up to this ODI World Cup and having like, yeah, basically
The monsters team ever.
it is. I mean, they are so good that they could just kill themselves by getting the wrong combination. When you have a team with a personnel that can have seven people opening the batting, then yeah, a lot can go wrong with that team. So if there's anybody who can stop England, it's England. But back in 2018, India also conquered England in the T20 internationals. So yeah, there's been a lot of positive results from India's point of view, especially considering when you think of it, wow, India don't have a left-handed batsman who can smash all around the park, and they are just so conservative when they start the innings in the power play. You just don't seem like like a team that can be that others team would be afraid of? What would you say to that? Because I feel India doesn't have the firepower to win the World Cup. They might have the conditions when you come back in November this year. Yeah, but it's again going to be like that one game which we played last World Cup, and because of Wankhed's conditions, it was easy for West Indies to chase down that total that India set in the semi-finals. So yeah, there's not enough firepower for them to again win the World Cup. Maybe if there was a 50 over World Cup this year, yeah, maybe they would have had the firepower. It's again like shoot how the possibility of how I said England, the only team who could stop England is England. With the ODI World Cup, I really thought it would be an England-India final, and India shot themselves in the foot just not getting the team combination right for 10 games. If you can't get your team combination right for 10 games, how do you expect to win the World Cup? So again, the question is, or my point is, India does not have the firepower to win the World Cup.
Yes. So to answer your question, I'm going to have to, build up the whole,
Narrative.
yes, build up the whole situation for the Indian team, like how they're going to plan for the World T20 World Cup that's going to come up and everything. So I would like to start from the top.
Hit it.
Let's have a top-down approach of that. So the T20 World Cup that we're going to have in November, October, November, it's happening in India this time. You're going to be having 16 teams, is what I read. They're going to be 16 teams that are going to be playing the World Cup. So yeah, let's start from the top. Like, given that in between you had so many IPLs, you had so many players coming through the ranks who have showcased their skills. I think for the T20 selection, it's just going to be much more of a bigger mess than the Test series because you have so many players at your disposal, right? Like for every position, you have at least three, four players who can play in that position. So again, let's start from the top. Getting a perfect 11 for India is going to be really difficult, I feel. But I just want to put out over there like the top three that I feel India is going to field for the World Cup. It's going to be Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul, and Virat Kohli at number three.
I just want to quickly jump in and say that Shikhar Dhawan has got a good record in the ICC tournaments one, and also look how India suffered as soon as he got injured in the World Cup last year. So just making a case for Shikhar Dhawan.
Yes. So I just want to point out that all these three batsmen that I have named, these are all anchor batsmen. Basically, these are people who like to bide their time at the crease and then build their innings. Rohit was kind of an explosive batsman back in 2015, 2016, but now I think he likes to take his time and then then explode. Same with Virat. Virat builds up his innings. KL Rahul has a very interesting story. When he was in the 2018 IPL, if you see his records, he was the perfect T20 opener that India could have asked for. He was that ultra aggressive, modern Indian batsman. With he used to come out with intent, and he played a really good innings in that IPL. But I don't know what happened. I think the Indian team communicated to him that he has to be a little bit conservative of the way he approaches the innings.
Again, the role of how you spoke about Rohit, like he didn't know the role,
Yes.
and especially with Rahul, play number five or play number two.
Yes.
Play number five, play number.
So that's why I think when he came into the 2019 and the recent IPL that we had in 2020, I mean, he was the orange cap for the IPL. But if you look at his strike rate was 130, which is not that great when it comes to T20 terms. So that's why you have someone like a Rohit, KL Rahul, and Virat Kohli, according to me, at the top, which are what I call as anchor batsmen. These are players who are not going to go all out. So I think this would be the traditional approach.
Yeah.
So if you want to play such a team, I think who are going to build their innings and then explode, there is a chance that they get out even before they explode. So to have such a team, you are going to want to have a very good bowling attack so that it backs it up.
Yeah.
If all of these three batsmen fire, they can win the World Cup for India. But if not, then you're going to need a very good bowling attack which can counter that in case things go wrong, which India does not have. And hence the need comes, as you said, to have someone explosive in the top order over there.
Yeah.
So two batsmen come to my mind when I think of an explosive opener, given the recent form of everybody. That the way they've played.
Okay, so you're not again you're not having these three players as your top three.
See, I'm pretty sure that these three will be playing.
Okay.
This will be the traditional approach, given that it's World Cup.
Yeah.
But I would love to see. So let me, before I say about Shikhar Dhawan, I just want to say, when Shikhar Dhawan was in 2018, I guess he was playing for Delhi Capitals, and Ricky Ponting actually came into the media and he brazenly said that we need Shikhar Dhawan to start pacing his innings much more.
Yeah.
We need those runs from him early on, and after that he actually he increased the pace of his innings, and he is now that explosive batsman that I was talking about, the intent that he brings.
He's the first player to score back-to-back centuries in an IPL.
Yes, so he is that batsman, and the one more important thing that if India wants it, I think he brings in the left hand right hand combination into the team. So he is that one person who I could see coming into the top order, and the second person who I'm going to name is going to be a completely, like India want to go complete all out aggressive bold, then it should be Ishan Kishan. If you have followed the IPL that just happened, the 2020 IPL, Ishan Kishan plays that role for Mumbai Indians. He comes at number three, and he's an uncapped player. He hasn't played for India yet, and he hit around 500 plus runs, I guess, for Mumbai Indians. So yes, if you want an aggressive option up top, if I wouldn't mind if India opted for somebody like Ishan Kishan in the opening over there.
Oh, so yeah, this is very unorthodox. I'm completely taken aback. I was trying to guess who could have been that X Factor player right at the top, because I feel again like if India are going with that conservative approach again, all three of them trying to bite them innings, or the problem that I see is they are not playing fearless cricket like we see them playing, because when Shikhar Dhawan came in, he was just bombarding the ball all over the park, and then he gets conservative and then he's biding his time. So there's this insecurity within the team. Maybe stick to your top three, your traditional top three of Dhawan, Rohit, and Virat, and then give Shikhar the license to just get out on the first ball. We don't care, but you need to start hitting from the top. So if that is the approach that we could have, or the team management gives Shikhar, then it completely changes the dynamics, and then we don't have to think about a X Factor player like Ishan Kishan. And yeah, I'm still sticking to the top three of my traditional top three, and without KL at opening. Or maybe if you don't want to open with Shikhar, then open with KL, but give him the license batting like the way he did in 2018 IPO.
I mean,
Somebody needs to be given that license to like just and not just the license but also the assurance that we are going to be playing you for the next 5 games. I think how many games do you play in a World Cup? Like 5 to 7. So we'll play you all the games. We don't care if you get out on the first ball of the first 3 games. You will play game number 4.
Yes, yeah, I think that's fine if you have Shikhar Dhawan in your, in your conservative approach that you had. But for me, if India is going to play a conservative approach, then it's going to be Rohit opening along with KL Rahul and Virat Kohli at number three. Shikhar Dhawan doesn't find a place in my team. He's going to be a backup opener for sure. And if India wants to, have an aggressive opener into this thing, then I think it should be Ishan Kishan for me.
One more thing that is that's not going to happen here. Maybe it's happening in some other universe, and I can think about it and smile. Is Rohit opening with Virat? Because if you see the 2016 IPL when Virat was I feel he still is a very, I mean, he's the best batsman even when he's batting at 3. But if you let him bat at 1 or 2, he's going to play the first 20 balls and he's going to score 22-25 runs. That's okay, still more than 100 strike rate. But then when he takes off in the next 20 balls, he's going to give you 60 runs. So are you going to do you want Virat to be scoring like an 80 ball, a 40 ball 80 when he is opening, or would you like to see him like score a 50 ball 80 when he comes down the at number 3? I mean, the numbers, he's just scoring the same number of runs, but kind of having to bide his time more. and also then yeah, play according to the situation. But in T20, the most freedom that anybody has is the openers. Like they dictate the play. So something that's not going to happen. But yeah,
Yeah, I think the reason why they won't be opening with Virat Kohli is because Virat Kohli is the best batsman in the current T20 team who can carry the innings through, you know. So he is the best anchor batsman, as I say, anchor batsman. He's the best anchor batsman among all the three batsmen that I've said. So that's why he comes in at number three for me. And he's going to be the one who, you know, the whole team's going to revolve around. The innings is going to revolve around Virat Kohli if he stays till the end.
okay. This one, I mean, I think we are going to debate
Yeah, I think the
this number four, which we are still struggling from the last bloody World Cup. I mean, not solved it for ODI, not solved it for T20. The only reason why it's solved for Test is because Virat is batting there. Others you'd have debated about that as well, and the entire country would have debated about this number four position. Yeah, who is? Let's forget ODI for the moment, and who is in this number four? I have a very different approach. Maybe I think even you're thinking in those lines, but yeah, let's go for you.
Yeah, before we, you know, let's just look at the history that India have played at number four. You know, India have played somebody like Shreyas Iyer, who's very conservative. You know, that hasn't worked for the Indian team. They have played Manish Pandey, who again is a very conservative batsman. Again, he delivered at times. He did not deliver at times. Again, he not fit into that role over
I
there.
think he's a very good finisher. Like
Yeah. And at times they've even played somebody explosive as Pant over there at number four, which again it did not work any good for the team. So I think you need to find the right balance at number four between a batsman who's conservative and also can be explosive, and that's why I would suggest the name of Surya Kumar Yadav, who was again the number four for Mumbai Indians, and he is one of those. If you've seen his recent record, right, he has hit 400 plus runs in the past three IPLs consecutively.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
and if you see his recent record in the Vijay Hazare Trophy, he's hit a century. He has an average of I think 50 plus in the Vijay Hazare Trophy, and he scores at a rate of 7.7. So
He's hitting at 150 strike, right? He's the
uh,
only person in this season Vijay Hazare who's striked at 150 plus.
yes,
He scored 300 plus runs, and this is for players who've like batted more than 100 balls. I mean, the category of 100 balls was only possible because he's played, I think, between 100 and 110 balls for him to score 335 runs because he's striking at 150. So I knew you were going there. I mean, I don't watch the Mumbai games, but because he was in the news during the last IPL and because of his track record, has he played last three seasons for Mumbai or one
yes.
for KKR?
Um, I think he has played the last two seasons for Mumbai Indians because he was an integral part of both of those trophies. I'm not sure if he's played. Yeah, I think he played for KKR at one stage. I'm not sure if it was that season or not, but I know that he's hit 400 plus runs
Yeah,
for three
yeah, for all
consecutive
three
IPLs.
seasons. The thing is, I mean, I agree with this number four spot. The only problem is I thought that Shreyas Iyer would do the same role that now we are expecting him to do because can be explosive, but it's just not happening. It's just not. He's not just not ticking at the moment. I think in the first few games of Delhi last season, he scored like an 88 of 30 balls, 35 balls, and then he just vanishes. So he comes up with that amazing innings, and then you think, wow, Delhi have this Indian core who could actually make the Indian team, and yeah, it doesn't work out. So again, the only it's not stopping me from him having in my team. I have him in my team, but the only doubt that I have is he is very similar to what
Yes.
Shreyas Iyer has been, and also is not left-handed. If he was left-handed, then yeah, give it to me. Like
Yeah, I think the debate around Shreyas Iyer, I agree with you. I mean, he's a phenomenal batsman, no doubt about that. He has the talent, he has the skill set to play over there. I think he has been given enough opportunities. I think by now, you know, in the Indian T20 matches that we've played, I just don't see him fitting there. You know, he has those on and off innings. He plays. I remember him playing in the Australia series that he and Hardik Pandya did a very good chase. But other than those, I don't. I not seen performing in the other two T20s against Australia. So yeah, that's why time is running out, and we need to cement this number four position because you want to have someone who has had enough experience before you go into the World Cup, basically.
I think we are playing just five T20s.
Yes, I think it's only these five T20s, and then you have the IPL coming up after this.
Yeah,
So
and I think South Africa is coming to play India for these T20s as a preparation. But yeah, we'll see about that.
yeah,
So India has less than 10 maximum.
yeah, I would say yeah, less than 10 T20s to come up with a perfect 11 for the World Cup. So
Today
I
the
think
today the batting coach stressed on India finding the right batting
yes,
combination.
Vikram Rathod did say that at the end of the five T20s that that the coaching team should come up with a 11 for the World Cup. So
But what if Ambati Raidu is the orange cap holder at the end of the IPL?
no, I
Is
mean
there justice in this
I
world?
think the ship has sailed for Ambati Raidu. Yeah, I think I have a feeling they'll be playing Surya Kumar Yadav at number five for all of these five T20s. They're going to give him all the
At number
opportunities.
five?
Yes, oh sorry, number four. He's number four in all the five T20s. So he's going to be getting all the opportunities that he can get, and he will be keenly looked after in the IPL too.
Yeah, that's not a problem with the Mumbai factor. Yeah, they are everybody's looked after very well. Which, yeah, moving from four. I mean, wow, this is quite difficult. Like you could, this is the problem with talent, no? You have so
Exactly.
much, and then you will never get the right combination ever,
Yes, that's why I think.
unless you win the World Cup, and then you say, yeah, that was the right
Yes,
combination.
that's why I think it's going to be very important for these players to perform in these five T20s and IPL. Not only for India, for all the teams that are going to be playing in the IPL. It's going to be very important for them to assess the conditions, see the form of their players, see how they are adapting to the pitches over here, how their skill set is, how they're attacking the bowlers. It's all going to be a big factor. That's why you have so many teams who are ready to England coach has come out and said that he's fine with the English players missing out on the New Zealand Test series and playing the T20 basically.
Yeah,
So yeah, not only for India, for all teams, it's going to be the IPL is going to be an important factor.
cool. Who's number five? There's only one person.
So
Number five.
number five is going to be the most important person for me in the Indian T20 setup, which is going to be Hardik Pandya. I think Hardik Pandya along with Jasprit Bumrah are the two main.
You're basically bringing the entire Mumbai team. Yo, and he's sitting in front of a Chennai Super Kings fan.
I mean, you can't blame me, right? I mean, Mumbai Indians is the most successful T20 team of as of right now. I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't blame me for that. So yeah, I mean, but I'm serious. I mean, if you look at the Indian T20 setup, Hardik Pandya and Jasprit Bumrah are the two players who are the most important for the World Cup. If any of those players, for some reason or the other, miss out on the World Cup, I don't see India winning the World Cup.
Yeah, for me, I feel, yeah, since we mentioned Pandya, firstly, I think I wanted to put him at number six, but then I feel there's not a lot of time for him. And by the time we start playing the World Cup, by the time these matches are being played, I think the lineup is not going to matter anymore because they're going to be playing according to the game situation. So I would put Pandya at six and Pant at five, or completely change the game by putting Pandya at four. And then that also gives a role for getting ahead of myself by saying that Dinesh Karthik or Manish Pandey could be the finisher. But yeah, let's keep that for later. And
Yeah, definitely. Rishabh Pant for me comes in at six. Again, we could. I mean, depending on how they perform in the upcoming matches, I think the Indian team will decide who comes in at number five or six. But yeah, definitely Hardik Pandya, Rishabh Pant at five or six. You can interchange them, and as you said, if the situation arises where we have a pretty good platform laid by the openers, yeah, I mean, I could see a Hardik Pandya coming in at number four, or Rishabh Pant coming in at number four. That's perfectly, I mean, according to the situation. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how how good a floater Sky can be. But because you watch more of the Mumbai games, the thing is, what we want from our number four at this moment more than ever, like more than even the last World Cup where we were looking for this 3D kind of player, is can he bat when India is 30 for 3 and come after 5 overs and then like yeah take India to 150, and then can he also when India is like 160 for 2 and then he just has 2 overs and then take India to 190, like score 30 runs in the next 2 overs. This is the cricketing term, like playing the floater. Can he firstly fulfill that role, or because in this situation, then what is the best thing you could do? What I am actually already thinking is if India is 30 for 3, then just send Hardik as no your number. Okay, India is 30 for 3 in terms of India having lost all their 1, 2, and 3. Maybe
Yes.
India is 20 for 2 and then Hardik comes, but then it gives him a lot more time to then, yeah.
Yes, definitely. Surya Kumar can be that floater batsman, as you mentioned, for sure. He definitely has that skill set. He is the Rahane of a test team. He is one of those players. I have watched his game very closely. He can adapt to the situation pretty well. Just to give you an example, the recent Vijay Hazare Trophy that happened, Mumbai were, I think they were in a similar situation, right? There were 3 wickets or 4 wickets down or something, and you had Sky at the crease, and he went on to build his innings, and he hit 91, I guess, in that this thing, and Mumbai Indians went, not Mumbai, sorry, the Mumbai team went up to post a score of 300 plus in that match. So yes, he definitely has that skill. If India is at a situation where they want him to, stick, not give his wicket, and build his innings, yes, he can do that. If India requires him to, go out, all guns blazing out, he can do that too.
Cool. And who's at 7 then?
Yeah, I think again now the mess starts for us, like figuring out who comes, So I would like to, before we figure out that number seven, number eight, let's settle the debate about the seamers. So I think India will go with three spin two pace option. That's what I think I would say three
Or
spin two pace.
or
What do
is
you say?
Har are we previewing our combination for the World Cup or for this series?
For the World Cup? I mean, yeah, I think
Then by then I expect Hardik to give me like
yes.
2 overs.
Yes, Hardik is going to be bowling. That's why I said three spinners and two pace options, because then you have a pace option in Hardik Pandya too. So for me, the no choice, no brainer is obviously Jasprit Bumrah is going to be one of those. For the other option, you actually have a lot of options. You have somebody like Bhuvneshwar Kumar, as you mentioned.
Oh, great dead bowler.
Yes, a great used to be that bowler, I would say.
I mean, he's not played, so
Then you have Deepak Chahar, who plays for CSK. He has been their mainstay bowling for CSK over the
yeah,
years.
but he is more of a swing friendly
Yeah, I'm not.
bowler.
I just want to point out all the
Oh, okay,
options, and then
okay,
we can debate as to who
yeah.
comes into the. Then you have T Nataragan,
Oh yeah.
who recently had his debut in Australia. You have Navdeep Saini, who is one of the most consistent 140 plus pace bowler for India. You have Mohammad.
Siraj.
You have somebody like Shardul Thakur, who, as we saw in Australia, he brings his batting abilities too. You have Mohammad Siraj, who plays for RCB, and yeah, I mean he could be an option too. Apart from that, you also have as backups as Sandeep Sharma. You have a Khalil Ahmed, you have a Shivam Mavi, you have Kamlesh Nagarkoti, you have Praseed Krishna, and you have Kartik Tyagi. Kartik Tyagi is one of those, he's only 19 years old and he can exceed 145 plus. He's only the Indian bowler who can bowl 145 plus. But yeah, so these are our options who we fit into those two roles that we have available to
You
us.
forgot Shami, who might be the
Yeah,
that bowler
yeah.
you go for.
So
Um,
one option for me is Jasprit Bumrah for sure. Yeah, we can discuss the second position.
uh, yeah, Natarajan with his Yorkers, giving us also this another dimension that I was talking about left arm quick.
Yeah, with Natarajan, yeah, he has that ability, but I would say experience is not on his side. He is a very young bowler. Matches wise, I don't think he's played 10 plus matches for India yet. So I would go with uh, Bhuvneshwar Kumar if he's fit. If not, then I would go with the Jasprit Bumrah Mohammad Shami combination again that we had in for tests.
Okay. Uh, yeah, I think we have six batsmen. Yeah, I think in India, anyways, we just play two bowlers. I wanted to play three, which is not possible. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm same. I agree with you. Bhuvi and Bumrah, if Bhuvi is fit, but if he's not, then Bhuvi and Nataragan. The only thing is great at bowling experience. Yeah, he's going to play 14 games in the IPL and maybe another couple of T20s before the World Cup. So yeah, he
See,
gives.
the thing with Bhuvi was, if you see his record in the 2017 IPL, right, he was one of the topmost death bowler that IPL had, amongst all the bowlers that were there. And he used to average, he had an economy rate of 8.4 in the death overs in that IPL. But after that, he had, those issues with his health and everything. And come to the 2018 IPL, he had economy of 9.7, which is almost up to 10 in the dead overs. So I think that's one factor which is iffy about him. If he could, build up on, if he could go back to his abilities, he has those abilities for sure. He needs to recover that form that he had. If he gets that, I think Bhuvneshwar Kumar will be a starter for me. But if not, then yes, Shami comes into the team.
Yeah, perfect.
So yes, now we debate about the three spinners that we have. I think.
Oh,
Um,
you're going with three spinners? Fine.
Yes,
Cool.
that's the combination I'll have with three spinners and two seamers, and then you have Hardik Pandya who can bowl too if needed.
Mm, yeah. Okay. I am. I don't know how much. Yeah, India should go with six bowling options. The thing is, even with Hardik's bowling ability, I think.
See, when I say three spinners, I mean I obviously mean three. I mean one of them obviously has to be an all-rounder. So Jadeja definitely makes it into my team.
Yeah.
Jadeja, he has phenomenal batting abilities and he can bowl consistently. He doesn't give much runs. He just runs through his four quota of overs. So yes, Jadeja is going to be one of the spinners for me. And if I've seen the history of India's T20, setup, then I think Yuzvendra Chahal is going to be, he's going to be a consistent two. So it's that one spinner that we come down to. Who are we going to place over there? You have someone like a Washington Sundar. You have someone like the new player. What's his name? You have Akshar Patel. Now that he has played the Test series, you
Rahul
have
Chahar.
Rahul Tewatia, you have Krunal Pandya, you have Varun Chakravarti,
Not
you
fit enough.
have Kuldeep Yadav. So yeah, you have all these options. So who do you play in that one position that you have
I'm playing Ashwin.
now? Yeah, I mean that would be ideal, but yeah, I don't know. I mean,
If Ashwin is there, then he's going to like turn up as the T20 bowler Ashwin of 2011.
yes, so I mean, of what I have seen Ashwin, in such situation, he always turns into a warrior. He has that fighting ability. Maybe the age factor is against him, but he has that fire within him. He comes back hard.
I think I think the BCCI really need to like take him into consideration because I feel at the moment he's like a no-go
Yes, but
in terms of selection for the T20s.
yes, he is not even featuring in the squad for the T20s. So if he has to, show that ability, I think the IPL is the platform for him. If he shows that he has it in him, and I think they could consider him, but that's the only platform that he has to showcase his T20 skills. If not, then who do we go with? Because as I was reading recently, so if you look at the Indian squad for the England Test series, you have somebody like Varun Chakravarti, and Varun Chakravarti is not even making it into the squad because he has fitness issues.
Yeah.
You have someone like Rahul Tewatia whose name is there in the squad, but again he's not featuring in
Fitness.
because of fitness issues. So they had to bring in Rahul Chahar, who again is a Mumbai Indians spin bowler.
Wasn't he Rajasthan?
No,
Played?
He plays for. He's been playing for Mumbai Indians for the past two seasons at least, and he's been a vital player for us in those spin departments. So they're bringing in him again. So there you go. You have a Mumbai Indian bowler again into the team.
Yeah, and then finally, let's just talk about the opponents, not just for the series, but also I feel the team that is going to again make it to the final, and also maybe Ben Stokes has this redemption in T. I think he already has his redemption from how Marlon Samuels took him to the cleaners in the last World Cup by winning that Ashes and that game at Headingley and also the World Cup. Maybe, yeah, that's not in my opinion. But yeah, I think the only team who could challenge themselves and also the rest of the teams is England. And wow, for a team that doesn't have the biggest T20 league in the world, for them to produce such players with all different kinds of dimensions, it just looks scary on paper. They still need to put that performance on field, but they now already have that pressure of winning the World Cup taken away from their shoulders, and now it just seems like a squad to like go conquer the white ball game.
Yeah. So England's T20 team. So I just want to point out one factor that England had this whole rotation policy going on for the Test series, and come to the T20 series, and they have all the players at their disposal. There is not one player missing from the T20 squad. So it just goes on to show that how much importance the England Cricket Board gives to white ball cricket than red ball cricket. So yeah, definitely they have the complete team at their disposal. So let me just give you the squad as to who's going to be featuring in that match against us. And believe me, the names are crazy. So they have someone like Jason Roy who opens along with David
The,
Malan.
the number one T20 batsman.
Yes, the number one T20 batsman as of now. At times, I think David Malan comes at number three, and Josh Butler opens with Jason Roy. I
Yeah.
think that's how their T20 squad features.
Or maybe like even if you look at the squad, I could name like seven of them who could potentially open: Roy, Butler, Malan, Moeen Ali, Ben Stokes, Sam Curran, Johnny Bairstow, who is the traditional England opener, along with Jason Roy and Sam Billings. So they have three wicket keepers in this T20 squad for the series against India. Bairstow, Billings, Butler all can open. That's already three. Sam Curran has opened for Chennai. Four. Moeen Ali has opened at some point in time. Five. Ben Stokes opens for Rajasthan Royals. Six. Jason Roy. Seven. Malan. Eight. And the curious case of Liam Livingston, who can also open.
Yeah,
So
they have also opened with Tom Banton. You forgot that name. So there's
Tom Banton is not in the squad.
He's not in the squad, but he has opened for England in the past against the Pakistan T20 series, I guess.
And then there's this player, James Vince, who like
Yes,
took
yes. BBL.
the BBL by storm, and he's not even in the squad. So there you
Yes,
go.
Alex Hales. There's one more name
Yeah, these two.
who created a storm in the BBL, and these players are not even featuring in the England squad. So yes, they have a crazy talent pool over there. Creating a perfect 11 for them is going to be a headache for them too, and that's a good headache to have, right? When you have so many players. So yes, going into the World Cup, I think if any team that's going to be favorites, I would put England at number one and India at number two only because it's happening in India.
Yeah, yeah. But also, if you go to see, we are not just putting England as favorite because of the names that we've just said, and it's scary. But yeah, they don't have really good spinners, but I think they are going to play to their strengths and yeah, just play with Adil Rashid and maybe another spinner in the
Moeen
form of
Ali.
Moeen Ali who can come in and give them the 8 overs, and then the rest of the 12 overs they can yeah again bowl amongst six players.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to talk about their bowling abilities. You have somebody like a Jofra Archer coming in, you have someone like a Chris Jordan, you have someone like Mark Wood who bowls for them, and all of these people can bat. So
Yeah,
basically,
they
their
can hit
batting
the
order goes all the way to number 9 and number 10. Their number 9 and number 10 can come in, and if required, they can hit a couple of sixes, a
their
couple of
number
fours.
11 is Adil Rashid who can also bat.
So
So
yes, I think that's something that other teams lack, something specifically India lacks. those batting abilities in the depth, not the depth at the the number 9, 10, 11 bowlers. So I think that's what gives England advantage over there.
Yeah, yeah. And if you go on to see like the dead bowlers, Jofra, Archer, and Chris Jordan are going to provide that Yorkers right at the end. So they have a lot of things that are going for them. I don't know what's going to stop them from winning the World Cup. Like I previously said, the only thing might be the Duckworth Lewis method or themselves. That they just
Yes.
shooting themselves on the day by thinking too much about a lot of external factors which are not necessary and not reading the game well. So yeah, there's nothing to stop them. Let's see how it goes. And that should, yeah, we are going to say goodbye from here, and hopefully I have Vipul with me again very soon so that we have a lot of other cricketing topics to talk about. Until then, if you like the show, hit us on Instagram at sports.tales, follow us on Instagram there, and follow our show on Spotify every week on Wednesday. And also, if you want to have a link of this episode on YouTube without the normal video, then you can also find it there at the Sports Tales. Until then, stay awesome, stay healthy, and yeah, peace out.